All right, guys, welcome back. We're in another episode of E&E Podcast, where we're here to bring you guys information. Either if you're already a business owner, if you're thinking of starting up your new business in the state of Arizona, we're here to bring you guys different information that can either help you begin that venture or, help you down the road. We've had already a few excellent guests, excellent friends that we have provided great information for you guys. And today I'm proud to bring to you guys another good friend of mine, a friendship that we have had for more than over 10 years. Now, currently, he is his own boss as well, owner of his own barbershop. He is a real estate investor, just a great guy overall, a great supporter of not just myself, but of different other small businesses across the different cities here. So let me welcome to you guys, Uzi. Welcome, man.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Uzi, so let's begin with telling the crowd a little bit about who you are. Tell us a little intro about you.
Yeah, guys, I'm a local barber from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm currently in North Phoenix, Happy Valley 917. I've been a barber for about 15, 16 years now.
Nice.
Started with no license, worked my way up. Got here at 14 years old, went to high school, owned a landscaping business, got rid of that. Started my dream to become a barber, became a barber, invested all this time into get my license. Got my license, work in different barbershops on the Hispanic population, Scottsdale, North Phoenix,
Nice.
pretty much all over. And over the years, I have kind of like parted from the things that I don't want to do in my life,
Okay.
and kind of dedicate the things that I want to do. Like, I'd rather do my own spot, have that mental health 100, more than anything.
For sure.
And yeah, I just get myself in different adventures, like, real estate, car rentals.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, you hit there a few points there that we will be touching tonight in tonight's episode. Real quick, let me go back a little bit, but what high school did you go to?
I went to Washington High School.
Exactly. Did you graduate or were you in the same class as Octavio was? Or
Yeah.
no?
He was a year older than I was. He
Okay.
was 2006, if I'm not mistaken. I was 2007.
Okay, cool. Did you guys know each other when you guys were
yeah.
there?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
cool.
We
Yeah.
used to box at a trailer park on 27, on the I-17 in Glendale.
No way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was like good old days, man.
Yeah? That's funny.
Actually, when I run into him when he at the food truck park
Mhm.
on Peoria and 43rd,
Mhm.
I was like, hey man, I remember you from back in the good old days, and funny thing he remembered too. So
Yeah.
it kind of like broke the ice. Pretty
That's
cool.
cool.
So yeah.
I love that. I love how, and I mentioned to him also when he was here last week, how we all kind of come from the same area because I was at Cortez High School. But it's cool how you guys also were somehow acquainted, and then you guys have all grown into your own thing, down the road, which is I thought was pretty funny. And that's why I purposely want to have him and you guys as a first one. So I think we have a little circle there, and over the past few years, I've always seen that there's like a little circle of support between us three in a certain way. I really do want to thank you and appreciate you because I know that ever since I started my business ventures, selling tacos at the Los Sabrosos Tacos on McDowell, you would always go. And even though that you live far out north from where I was,
Yeah.
you would still make that drive, with your family. And then once
Because they were good though.
True, good point, thank you.
If I mean, as much as you were my
Yeah.
friend, if they weren't good, I wouldn't make
That's
that
true,
drive,
and you had always mentioned that, so that's awesome, and I appreciate that, and that's a great point. And then also same thing after when we expanded into La Casa de las Flores, you also went there and supported. So I do want to appreciate you. I know I've always tried, but I want to always make sure that you remember that I'm always appreciative about that. And again, so that everyone can also know that again, we are all in this together. That support is very, very important. And just like you also mentioned, many times us as business owners, we go through many things, right?
Oh yeah.
And so it's always good to have that moral support.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I struggle with, and I bet everybody else does, is when you're dealing with a certain obstacle, you get blinded. You are more likely to give yourself an advice, but you can't because you got all these things on top of you. Like we so good at fixing other people's lives because we don't have that in front of us, and sometimes we better at getting somebody else's out of the hole and into their misery or whatever they're going through instead of us because of that.
Very true. Very true. So you mentioned about when you started cutting hair a little bit, and I know that you mentioned about starting without having a license. How did you even start at first? Like overall, like I mean, did you go to school or was it just by yourself that you taught yourself?
So I had a barber that he was inconsistent.
Okay.
He would cut me and my brother's hair.
Okay.
And sometimes he would be like hangover or whatnot, and I was like, man, like I like the guy. I like the haircuts when they're good. So like I was just trying to figure out a way to kind of like help him out when he was slacking or whatnot. So I asked him like, what kind of clippers do you have and stuff like that, and I bought some from Walmart that were similar to the ones he had and stuff like that. So I started fixing my brother's hairs, and a little by little just it got easy, and I just started doing it myself. I had a landscaping company at the time, and when I decided to be a full-time barber, everybody and their mom was like, "I'm the dumbest motherfucker they ever met."
No way.
Because I was, excuse my language, but that's how I feel at the time.
Because you had something already established, or you had your business going.
I had no support.
Wow.
Like I had worse than support. You're dumb. Like, how you gonna trade a business that you do $200 an hour for a job, career, quote unquote, like that you're gonna make $200 a week?
Wow.
Because when I started, I was making little bit to no money.
Wow.
My dad just got deported. Like, I was in charge of the household, but I asked my mom like, hey, how much money you need to sustain the family until I can make this happen?
Yeah.
So I put my wall against the wall, and it worked out. 15 years later, I'm still doing this, and it's been a lot of up and downs, but the recognition of my numbers more than anything have made an impact not only on the way I live, but on the way I can also transmit to others that it doesn't matter if you make money or not. Money is just a tool. Most people that have a lot of money and they don't know what to do with their money, it's useless. So for the people out there that are looking to do something, it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else other than yourself. Stick to what you want, because at the end of the day, if you do what you want, you live your life. If you start taking other people's opinions and points of view, whatever, you don't end up living their life.
For sure. Yeah, it's hard to live through that sometimes, that those people that are closest to you tend to be the first ones to maybe in a way try to shut down that light.
Tear you down.
Yeah, and I think we have all gone through that, and that's why it's funny that we have learned that through our businesses, those people that we don't know tend to be the ones that support us the most, or those new people that come into our lives support us the most than even the people in our lives, our own family members. That's pretty crazy.
Well, here's one thing that I go by in life, that most people the struggle in life is not because they don't have nobody to talk to, it's because they don't have nobody to talk to them. So like sometimes we want our loved ones to like relate to in a way to get our feelings, in a place of comfort, or like get us to the next level financially, spiritually, physically, whatever you want to name it, and all those areas. But ultimately, we get more response from people that don't even know us. For people that know a little bit of us. Like, I know a little bit of you. As long as I know you, I know a little bit of you, but what I know of you determines how solid you are, because if you've gone through all these phases of my life and you're still relevant in my life, you mean something.
For sure.
And most people kind of discard the way that people have an expiration date. Just like anything in here. Everything has an expiration date. Most people hold on to a feeling, episode on their lives that kind of reflect them into the past, kind of like transport them to the past. Like, no, I can't get rid of my cousin because my cousin helped me out that one time I got a flat tire. But that's what you feel with them. But in the other end, your cousin probably don't like your ass no more because he's the one that had to help you get the flat tire. So his loyalty and everything else expired that day. And so how many years do you carry that loyalty for someone doesn't feel the same way.
Yeah, no, I do remember years ago seeing those videos when you used to be up in the palms cutting trees. You know, how tall was the palm, or
30.
what's the tallest palm you ever climbed up there?
So, as far as I remember, the biggest ladder the Home Depot sells 32 feet,
Okay.
and it's extended ladder.
Uh-huh.
So I used to stand it all the way to the last one and still climb like another 15 feet.
Wow.
And I mean,
Yeah, there's videos of Uzi up there in those palms, and that has to have some guts to be able to do that job. So, and again, that's to show everyone out there that whatever path you're on, that doesn't mean that that's the path that you're going to take forever. Life is full of unexpected turns, and like you said, you already had an established business, an established clientele that you had no reason to leave that security, I guess, in a way, of something that was already working. But for some reason, you had that calling to try something different, and then look where it has gotten you. That's awesome.
but one of the things that I faced when I made the decision was like, if I have done these things for this long, what else can I do? Most people, our worst critic is ourselves. Like, we want everybody else to believe in us, but we don't even believe in the stuff that we can do ourselves. So you have to kind of like do a reality check with yourself. How can you get this done? And if you're a consistent person like myself, might not be the smartest, I might not be the more creative, but my consistency will defeat everybody's talent and gift from, because God gives you gifts. God gives you talents. My consistency will defeat all those all day.
For sure. Talking about those talents, I know that you pretty much taught yourself. And for our viewers out there, if anyone wanted to become a barber, obviously practice makes perfect. But if anyone did want to become a licensed barber, I know that you mentioned that you started without a license. If you want to work at a certain barbershop, you obviously have to go and present yourself with a license. Do you have anything that you can provide, any information as to, is there schools that people can go to train or to get licensed, or how's that process work?
So when I started barber school, public information was like really hard to get to, because I had to go to a library to get certain stuff done, right? So now if you don't do nothing today, that you have all this flexibility to get stuff done.
Yeah.
When are you gonna?
You have everything at the palm, at your hands reach. You know, all the information is here. Just like you mentioned, maybe when you were younger, I guess, or during that time, there was no access to the internet or to a lot of those podcasts or things that people can easily help you out
we
with.
have YouTube University.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
everything's in there. When I got here to the United States, to Arizona, I was 14 years old.
Okay.
Like fresh at the boat as a freshman. I didn't know no English. I didn't know anything, right? I still struggle with, certain words and, now pronouns and all this other stuff. But we leave that for later. But stuff like that, I can't really, get some time to say what I really want to say. So if I struggle with those things, what can I get now? So now, like, yeah, we have all the information in the world to change our life. But even then, like, we have it all. We don't do anything about it.
Yeah. And again, we'll be providing some links down in the description as to some of the schools that some of you guys can go to if you want to become a barber, some of the information that you guys could obtain to get that license. I know that I also had several of my friends that I went to school with that are also barbers and went and own their own barbershops or work at different barbershops. And I know that they went through similar processes as from either working without a license and then eventually going to school and getting their license. Because you do need a social and stuff, right, to actually become or to actually be licensed in the state of Arizona and to, I guess, be legally working like with your license, with your barber license.
Yeah, you do need either your DACA, resident, or citizen, due to the school regulations, I guess.
Yeah, because I remember that a few of my friends went through that issue when we were in high school, that they wanted to go to school, but they couldn't because they didn't have papers. And it wasn't until DACA, actually, that when they were able to actually, I think they were already cutting, and then eventually when the whole DACA thing came in, they were able to, through DACA, go to school and actually get licensed, even though they already knew how to cut hair. but then they had to know all of the logistics as to, you know, how to be safe and all those things and,
Yeah.
and become licensed.
So one of the things that, like, I was go back to the same topic. Like, information is there.
Mm-hmm.
There's grants. There's help. There's school that actually guide you through the whole process.
Mm-hmm.
When I went, I had to sell my dump trailer that I used to do for landscaping
Oh.
to be able to pay for the school cash. Because otherwise, either you pay me cash,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't get you no hours. I can't even get you clocked in or anything like that. Not only the money that I had to put up, like the tools, like the fees for the test, everything.
Oh.
So now there's schools out there handing licenses out.
Yeah.
Like, you can even, if you have a barber that has an establishment of a couple of chairs,
Mm-hmm.
you can ask them, like, if you can be their apprentice.
Mm-hmm.
Go sweep some floors. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't do it now,
Yeah. When are you gonna do it?
yeah,
And just like we said in our first show, you know, all you have to do is just do it. Just start it. Just agarra viada, and then things will start falling into place. And you did mention about either working at a shop, or obviously how other people own their own places. But how does it work when a barber works at a shop that's not theirs? Like, I think either they get like a percentage, or they give a percentage to the owner, or how does that work? Like, do you
So I worked in different barbershops.
okay?
16th Street in Roosevelt, Avondale, Regos, 91st and McDowell. There's a Sky Mall, inside the swap meet. Like, I cut everywhere. For me, was the best thing that happened to me.
Really?
Yeah. Even though, like, there's a lot of those barbershops that I was giving 50% of what I was earning.
Wow, that much?
Oh yeah. Well, I never went booth rent.
Mm.
I pretty much went the hard route,
Okay.
and it worked out. So, like I said, if you don't do things when they're this easy, you're not gonna do them when they're hard. But if you happen to do them when they're hard, it's gonna create a different type of skin that really nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
So, there's people that they get their own thoughts get on the way from really making something.
Yeah.
Everything that I've done, from cutting hair, landscaping, towel guy. I mean, I've done a lot of things. Like, I grew marijuana in Oklahoma when the epidemic hit.
Mhm.
I had no idea what I was doing, but I was doing it because, again, I didn't get my own opinion of myself get on the way. I've gone everything that I've gone by asking one question: how can I? So simple.
Yeah.
And then it follows with, action, obviously. But the moment you ask and you have somebody like legitimate wants to help you out and want you to succeed, then it gets easy. Because you don't have to have the smartest, brains. Like,
Sure.
you just have to have the discipline that if you tell me to do things in a certain way, remember, like, when I used to go back to your for your food truck, we had conversations for hours.
Yeah.
Like, bro, we should do this, we should do that, and like, legitimate listen to the person that wants you to do better than them, because most people want you to do good. I want you to do better than I do,
Yeah.
with like no hesitation. Why? Because somehow we can uplift each other. Later on, you can tell me how to get my food truck. Later on, I can tell you how to own multiple properties.
Yeah.
But those comes with relationships, and most people don't. They're not willing to put the time to have a good relationship. We've gone through so many things, like where we're working for free, and sometimes not even working for free. We had to pay to be in certain rooms.
Yes.
Not only with the time,
Yes.
the trouble. Like, I remember when I used to go to Bakersfield and Indio, California, West Covina, all those places.
Yeah.
I had to come out of my own pocket.
Yeah. Were we crazy or what was it, bro?
We were just chasing a dream.
I think we were, right?
Yeah.
Now, that's important that you say, man, because I still feel that there's people that they're kind of maybe stuck in that dream. Y pues cada quien, but I think that what kind of has set us apart is that we realize, like, damn, like, we're chasing somebody else's dream. We were helping people reach their dreams and achieve things that they were achieving. But where were we, like, what were we doing? So for me, that's what hit me. I was like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing for myself? F this. Like, this is where the line stops, And I said goodbye to everything, just as you did, and just as many other people have, and I've seen. Other people haven't, but
there's the thing that separates the water from the oil.
Yeah.
Like, we constantly, trying to like mix them both. But as long as you recognize that those two things don't mix, that's when you become better.
I
Back to like that is gonna like toughen up your skin to like not only deal with that because you already deal with that, but deal with all the different things because if you're willing, because like I told one of my friends one time, it's only bad if you never feel that before, if you haven't been introduced to that feeling anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like if you haven't been introduced, like let's say being a dad, if you've never been introduced to that feeling being a dad, then you wouldn't know what to have a second child or how to chase to have a family, to like picture that the big picture, you know. So for me, it's always been like certain things make you go the next level, but you have to get uncomfortable to introduce that new feeling to your life to make things better for yourself.
take action.
So like we were attached to a certain picture. Now we figured out like, look, we've done this for so long with certain intensity that most people won't do it. So I'm done. But the moment you say you're done, you open yourself a new opportunity. That person will not open that opportunity. Nobody around that person will open that opportunity for you. You have to do it yourself.
Exactly. You gotta take action. So the difference between a job and a career is the difference between 40 and 60 hours a week. And I talked about this with Octavio last time, that a lot of us quit our 9 to 5s to start working 24/7. So it's crazy because I know that you are nonstop on your days when you're working. Going back to about you cutting hair still, but you are very well recognized across the state for what you do. You want to explain to us a little bit as to what is it that you do that puts you apart from a lot of the other barbers? Then let's talk about the shop for now.
Yeah.
If someone goes to you as a client, what is it that what customer service do you do? What things you do that you go above and beyond that no one else does?
I wish I had the other side of me to answer that question, but like I wish I can be in the face on the eyes of the customer and kind of like give that answer. But one thing that I have is my consistency will defeat everything that I have in front of me.
Okay.
I treat everybody with respect because the moment I get respected, I get to demand the respect. That's number one. Number two, I don't like people weighing on me. I don't like weighing on people. So you have to make yourself certain standards, like raise up your standards. Like one of the things that I learned from being around like high level people is raise your standards, because if you don't, then you're gonna stay average.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things that I've been doing the past 2 years
Oh, I've seen.
to get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it hasn't been easy, but it's not impossible, because the moment you get around with certain people that want you to see yourself, that better version of yourself, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like it's like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
Like I see that the slap, the Dana White slap thing, like the sport,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, man, like sometimes I want that, like not physically, but like on my life, like I want to like a wake up call, like look, I want somebody to care enough to say like, Uzi, you can do this now. Introduce you to a new challenge, because back to we can solve everybody else's problem, but we can really solve ours, right? But at the same time, it's like we get comfortable. We don't want new challenges because we're like, man, I just barely trying to overcome. What is it to open up a place? What is it to like train some people? What is it to like get the menu right? Like stuff like that.
Yeah.
So.
And I have seen that myself. I have seen you getting out of that comfort zone, again, changing from one business to another, and also in your same business, cutting hair. I've seen you through the years, for example, either because of the economy or different things, but I've seen you, raising your prices throughout all these years that I've known you. I remember back in the day when haircuts used to be, I don't know, $20,
$12.
$12, yeah, $12. Then it went to 15, 18, 20, 22. Yeah. And then I know that, again, to accommodate to the economy and stuff like that, and to the lifestyle that you have had, raise your prices just as many other people do with everything, with food and with everything else. And I know that each time that you have done this, I know that you strategically are already preparing yourself to lose some clients. But at the same time, you know that those who will want to stick will stick, and those clients will continue with you, and hopefully they'll bring some new ones. And I know that that's all just part of the business, right?
But here's the thing, though. I don't look at it like losing customers.
Okay.
I'm looking at retaining the average customer.
Okay.
So for every business to be operating as a business, you have to treat it with nothing based off other than the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
You can have feelings involved with like,
Very true.
I like this guy, but I really don't like this other guy. You cannot be biased because at that moment, imagine like the roller coaster you're gonna have. You have two customers you like, and then you have one that you don't like. It's just like up and downs on emotions on your day-to-day basis, and you lose your shit. Like you have all these emotions. Like, man, like imagine to keeping up with all these personalities, all these characters.
Yeah.
So for me, it has to be stuff on numbers. So I have a system that is called Square. Square tells me how much my average customer spends,
Okay.
how much my average customer tips. So for me to maintain my average, I have to charge them accordingly. I don't base the prices. Most people do the mistake of like, I know my worth. You know how much I hate that line?
Oh, really?
Oh, it boils my heart, brother.
Yeah.
Because like that's just a driven statement.
True.
Like for you to be a business owner, you have to base it off of numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Your opinions and everything else goes out the window
Mm-hmm.
because it creates an inconsistency on what you're gonna provide for the customer. I told one lady, I'm like, look, the lady was saying some crazy stuff. I was like, look, ma'am, I blocked off. Like I didn't want to hear what she was saying. I was like, look, ma'am, you cannot come into my place of business and tell me that I treat you any different way. You know why? Because the moment I do that, I leave so much room for disappointment to myself. Because I don't want to get into arguments like this, into like discussions of what I'm doing right and what I'm doing wrong. I treat everybody the same. My haircut system, it doesn't matter if you have afro, straight, curly, even if you have no hair. My same steps go to everybody because it creates less disappointment, like less room for disappointment.
Mm-hmm.
So for everybody that is out there and you know your worth, don't try to base it off of that. Try to base it on what other people are bringing to your business.
Okay.
For me, I'm not trying to get rid of customers. Customers get rid of themselves. Why? Because they're not back to like setting up the standard. For me to keep my mental health and for me to keep my establishment the way it should be, I need to not raise up the standard myself. I have my customers to do that for me. So back to one of the questions that I was struggling with, like, how do you deal with stress? I don't. I leave it to somebody else. Right?
True.
Most people that say, oh, like, I want to be my own boss. You already lost. I have bosses. I'm not my own boss. The moment somebody books an appointment, I have to be there. I have to show up. Because I made that commitment. The moment I open the schedule, I have to be there for my customers.
That's very true. Yeah, that's very true. I think that reminds me to a quote that Walt Disney says. He says, "Do what you do so well that they will want to see it again and bring their friends." So I think that really relates a lot to your business. That what you do it so well. And you didn't mention it, but I know that you do certain little things also to your clients that make them want to come back. I know that you have like a little fridge there, and you offer them like a little refreshment, either while they wait, and just that customer service, that realness that you give to them, that respect of, again, respecting their time and providing a good service, and that's why you do so well. Tell me a little bit about the cave. What's the cave? What's Uzi Cuts it? Is there a difference there?
There's a big difference.
Okay.
The cavehype, it started with a room in the back of my first house.
Okay.
It started off with a dream. It started out with like me separating myself to the person that I used to work for, and things were working out.
Okay.
I had a lot of responsibility, not only for buying my first property, but I had a newborn. I had my wife. I have two stepdaughters that I also have a huge impact on their life that I know that they're up to my responsibility
Yeah.
100%. So for me to have all that on my back, I was like, I have to make things different for things to change in my life. So I built a little room. I call it the cave. When I went to register, I did that backwards. I did the business thinking like this whole business idea, and then when I went to register the business, the name was already taken.
Okay, so the cave was taken.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
and that's something that we talked about last week. You guys remember we talked about registering your names to secure them, and we talked about that with Octavio. You know, so you went, you checked, and the cave was taken.
Yeah, the
Okay.
cave was taken. What I did, I didn't want to change it
Okay,
because it took me so much
to
get there.
establish, yeah.
to change it.
Fuck.
So I wanted to like do some research on my own vocabulary on what would be something that I can add to it without making it, too crazy. And the definition of hype is like something that everybody wants to have or something that everybody wants to be or somewhere along those
Yeah,
lines, right?
yeah.
So when I said like the cavehype, I was like, what? That sounds pretty cool.
Okay.
And it sounded good to me.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I changed it, because people noticed that I changed it, like the cave, I was like, what is that, bro? Like questioning me. And then I was kicking my own butt for like a month or two. I was
Yeah.
like, man, these people are asking me like, but it gave me something to talk about.
Yeah, true.
So the cave hype, and the next thing you know, now everybody knows it as the cave hype.
Okay.
And Uzi Cuts it got to branding,
Okay.
back to like relating myself to like people that I have friendships with. They told me like, Uzi, like the K-Five is cool, but you need to make something for yourself
Okay.
because like you're the brand. You have to carry yourself as a brand. You have to show yourself who you are. Like you underestimate yourself so much. Like if you would have asked me a year ago, like literally 12 months ago, to do a podcast with you, I was like, bro, I would have given you the turnaround, like if I was gonna hit a piñata or something, bro. Like
Same here. Same here.
it just wouldn't happen. I like but I was like, bro,
No,
like seriously.
Same here. Yeah.
Well, she saw me walking around like a chicken with the head cut off right now. She's like, hey, you need to
That's
relax, because I just can't do these things, but I have to do these things for me to embrace the brand.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's because we're kind of from the same time, but as if you recall, like I've always been kind of like behind the scenes, like behind like even in the industry that we were in or that I was working in. You never saw me like in front of the cameras or I mean, social media wasn't super big back in those days. But same thing with me. Like this wasn't a project or an idea that I was too fond about. But then I was like, you know what? You're right. Like, there's people that I always say that about the brand, and we just gotta get the word out there. You know, we are business owners. We're trying to grow, and no one's gonna do it for us. No one's gonna go find us. So we have to expose ourselves. Okay. So, obviously, you have your physical location in North Phoenix where you cut hair, but now I'm really intrigued to know what's up with the barbershop on wheels. If you guys don't know, follow the Instagram page and see this tremendous cool project that Uzi has got going, literally on wheels, cutting hair to your location, wherever you are at, he will go to you. So talk to us about that, because I'm not sure if you're the only one doing this in town.
Oh, there's other people doing it.
There is?
Yeah.
Okay. So so where do you stand there in that line, or talk to us about that?
So where do I stand on the line? I don't believe there's a line in a way. Like everybody carries their own way.
Okay.
I met people that they should be doing some other things, but that's just my own opinion. Everybody adjusts to their surroundings. I started this not because I wanted the business,
Okay.
because I already have so many things going on.
I'm
My
sure.
Airbnb, car rental, e-commerce, so many other stuff, right? I don't want to get myself into more things, but this was like knocking the door. So I cut a majority of the people at the Andy Elliott Lions Den in Fawn Hills.
Yeah.
And I do have some other customers that they always have complained because how far I am. So they're like, Uzi, I will come see you like once a week if you were closer. So when it comes to pricing, when it comes to catering to these people, I had nothing to do with that. All I had to do is find a bus, which I did it. I did it, and everybody loved it. But on February 1st, I tore everything down.
How come? Because you had just created it. You had just built it. So what happened there?
I feel like I cut myself short.
Okay.
I feel like I underestimated my own abilities to make something happen.
Okay.
I half-assed something. And that was kicking my own behind for the time that I was doing it. I was not happy. And now everybody's like, "Hey, Uzi, when are you getting back?" I was like, "Bro, I've done like the bus 3 times already.
Yeah.
Like I was just gonna like take everything down, leave the windows, and then I did everything, left the windows. I was like, you know what, those windows have to go. The guy that is doing the project for me is like, Uzi, you know how expensive it's gonna be to find like the aluminum cheese to cover that and do all this and do all that. I'm like, man, I don't care. Like I'm already into this, and I'm a hard believer. If I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it right. If not, don't do it.
Wow.
And that's what I should have done from the first try.
Wow.
But then it was like these people wanted it. I got the bus and like, what are you gonna do now? So like the pressure, which I could have easily put that aside and done it the right way. But you know, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, then you really don't have a journey. Like you have to embrace the journey that sometimes people are gonna be okay with certain things, but you have to reflect on yourself because otherwise you live in their life, not your life. These people loved it. Like I had black floors.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
It was good.
It looked brand new. Everything was
The-
shiny, brand new.
Black, everything was cherry. Now, I mean, I did everything. The wood that I had before, it was black. I used new wood. I did everything brand new upholstery, new everything. Like, I'm going all out because like I feel, and not so much because like I like to do things right. I feel like my customers deserve this
For sure. Yeah.
because they do have those expectations of me. Like, not even counting celebrities, I was getting paid the amount that I'm getting paid by these
Okay.
people that have nothing else to offer to me than quality.
Yeah.
So, if for them to be providing quality to my life to a certain standard, and I'm over here half-assing, it's just not a fair trade.
You're not meeting them there. Yeah.
I feel like,
That's awesome.
like bro, like I'm not giving you my all. You are like you open the gates for your driveway of these multi-million-dollar homes, and I'm over here pulling up on a trailer
Half-assed.
with like I just can't do it.
Yeah.
But then that's holding yourself accountable to the new standards. And one of the things that I have learned from being, you know, around Andy Elliott and Brandon, the twins, all these people, Big Rai, I can really name them all because there are a lot of them. But every single one of them has put that seed on my pod to be like, look, Uzi, you got this.
Yeah.
You need to do this. You need to do that. So the mobile business is something that I didn't want it, but I needed it
Yeah.
because it has created a whole nother beast. Like I'm not a morning person. 4:40, guess what? I'm up.
Yeah.
Like I'll be doing it. I'll be doing the whole month. Like
Okay.
every day at it, like staying consistent. But then again, raising up the standards. I didn't know I had standards. I live by certain rules, but those were just rules that I was making to just get by and give myself a pat on the back and say like, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
But there's a whole other levels out there.
That's awesome. Just again, just so that everyone realizes this, Uzi had his brand new that he had invested into creating this awesome space in this. It's like a small party bus, right?
Yeah.
So he revamped it, looked beautiful. He was working it, but because of his standards, he wasn't happy with it. And because of the clients and the connections that he was making, you know, he felt like he wasn't giving them what they deserved. So he literally tore everything down. And not only is this costing him time, it's costing him money, it's costing him, you know, maybe some type of stress, but he would rather bite the bullet there and sacrifice that for a little bit so that it can give him a bigger return later on. And that's what businesses are. Sometimes we just have to step back and go back to the drawing board, right? Yeah. Just because something's already set, it doesn't mean that that's what it has to be. Someone at the restaurant tells you, "Hey, boss, like you're always changing your mind." And normally you would complain when someone always is very undecisive, or when someone changes your mind so much. But what but the way that I think of it is like, okay, well, if this hasn't been working for 2 weeks or for a month, it's gonna be stupid if I continue this same path. You have to change path. You have to adjust and scratch that and try something new. And normally, again, people would complain if you are undecisive or change your mind, because sometimes they tell me like, oh, like you just told me one thing last week and now it's gonna be different. Well, yeah, well that's, I mean, we're the ones here that are creating this, generating these ideas. If it wasn't because of these ideas, then we would not be creating this advancement. And so I really like that your vision was, again, always keeping that client in perspective, and you not feeling up to that level. So that's awesome. That way you can, it's going to give back to you so much more. So that's going to be so awesome. If you don't mind me ask, usually, and you mentioned it, but how much do those cuts usually range from? I mean,
So I have a bottom line.
Okay.
It's $150.
Okay.
There's customers that pay me way more than that.
Okay.
I don't put the price,
Mhm.
but for
Yeah.
new customers, like, look, the least I take is $150 because
Excellent.
of the things that go with it. Now, if I see that certain things are not following the pattern of what I'm going for,
Mhm.
then I make changes.
Yeah.
But I feel like $150, there's a
That seems fair.
it's a fair shot for somebody to give it a try,
Yeah.
and then they determine either I'm worth the $150 or they want to pay more. That's to their discretion, just
Yeah.
like any of my other customers.
Of course. Yeah. And I do want to give a shout out to the twins and to everyone at the Elliot group. They are awesome people that I've been following as well. I think I used to follow them even before you kind of made that connection with them. And when I started seeing you in that movement with them, I was like, man, like Uzi is getting himself entangled with some great freaking people.
Yeah.
And I want to be part of their group. I know I used to message on Instagram one of the twins, and when he would do like open invites to workouts, I always wanted to go. I never had the chance to go because I'm so damn busy with my stuff, but I'm always still like following his stuff. They're all so motivational, and it just brings me happiness, like legit happiness, that you are involved with them and doing these things that will again help you and help your future.
When I met them, I didn't met them physically.
Okay.
I had a wrap. The wrap was like all over my Jeep.
The one on the white Jeep, yeah.
The white Jeep,
The one
yeah.
up for the cave hype, right? Yeah.
So they messaged me. They sent me a video.
Oh, I remember, yeah. When they spotted you, right?
Yeah, they spotted me
And
on-
again,
on
and
the
now this is a
markets.
great example of marketing,
Marketing.
and this is what one of the points that I wanted to hit, because when you had that white Jeep, it was super easy to see you from a mile away, and it's marketing, and look where that got you to. Yeah.
So I got dropped off. My wife dropped me up at Curlin in Scottsdale.
Okay.
Those apartments out there.
Mhm.
She dropped me off. It was not even like a 2-minute drop off. They sent me a video within a minute.
Mhm.
Hey, Uzi, like, oh, hey, I didn't even know how they introduced themselves.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we saw your Jeep. That shit is raw. Like, hope you're killing it. This is Ian. This is Evan. This is Big Rai. And I was like, man, like, who is these people? Like,
Yeah.
you know, like who does that?
Yeah, I saw them because
Yeah.
I saw them on their page, and that's why I said that I used to follow them before you did, because I saw them post you. So I thought you guys had already a connection there. So this is something new that I'm learning today.
So
That's cool.
they sent me that video. I was like, yeah, cool guys. Like I said, it's only hard if you're not introduced to that feeling.
Mhm.
And it was hard for me to like, what are these guys doing? You know,
Mhm.
like they all fired up, and I'm over here like all hangover and everything. Like I can't even, you know,
Like,
just-
whatever.
whatever,
Yeah,
you
just
know? Yeah.
cool. Thank you.
And then a couple days later, they're like, hey, so you cut hair or what? It's like, yeah, I cut hair. And Happy Valentine's 17. I was like, there's no way they're gonna be out their way and go see me, bro. They showed up. Everybody till today they talk about their presence. The first time they showed up to the building,
Mhm.
they showed up with no shirts,
Mm.
shorts,
Mhm.
gallons of water, like fired up.
That's badass.
I thought they were gonna get me like in a boot camp or something. I was like, what the hell, these guys, you know? But ever since then, bro, like they broke a seal in my life that I'm extremely grateful for, and I get, you know,
Man.
kind of sentimental because like these people are like they're really about it, you know. We have met people,
Yeah.
that they give you like the roses and everything else, but they don't give you how to sustain those roses,
Excellent.
how to like how to be about it on the next steps forward.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that tell you like, look, if you want to impress people, you can tell them what they have, what you have. If you want to inspire people, you can tell them how to get it.
Yeah, I like that.
And these people have shown me how to get it.
Yes.
Like they guide me through like baby steps. Like Uzi, like, come on, dog. Like you gotta do this. Hey, bro, how about this? Like relating to like things that I've done before, but then I have fallen into a comfort zone that hasn't really got me to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, when I used to be on tour and all this other stuff, that was great. But then it was so salty that I didn't want to do that again. So now like reviving the same intensity of things, but directed to the people that really want you to succeed.
Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me of a quote from Richard Branson. I love following Richard Branson, but he says that business opportunities are like buses. There's always another one coming.
Yeah.
And you just have to know to look for those opportunities. Sometimes they run right in front of you and we just don't know that they're there, but we just have to be able to open up our mind, open up our eyes and notice those opportunities because sometimes they can be life-changing. So that is awesome that you were again able to meet this group and that they're motivating you and pushing you for greatness because those guys they're just insane. Moving a little bit aside from the whole barbershop realm, again, your thing is or has been cutting hair, but I know that you also invest in other realms. I know that you have a few real estate investments that you rent out or use for Airbnbs. My first question to you is, how were you able to acquire, for example, like that first home that you purchased for that purpose? And how much of that has to do with credit? Because I remember a long time ago, I always remember you and our other buddy, Kalinoa, that I think you posted one day about your credit. And then you had like a badass credit score. And it's like, damn, like that's goals.
Yeah.
And I always thought I had a good credit because I think when I turned 21, I bought my first house because I always had a good credit.
Yeah.
It's like, cayó bien chingón, like thinking I had a good credit score at 725 or something. And then you showed me this badass fucking credit score, like way above that. And I was like, holy shit, like, how did he do that?
Well,
So-
it's simple. It all starts with how can I?
Okay.
I stick to that. If I like tattoos, if I don't like tattoos, I would have that all over my face. I would be like Post Malone, like have that
Yeah.
on my face. Like, how can I can break so many barriers of your life, going into like family curses and all these other things just by asking how can I. The worst question is the one you don't ask. But if you're gonna ask one, ask how can you get this? Because if somebody else has it, just tell them, hey, how can I copy and paste to get this, right?
Yeah.
So for me to have a 800 plus credit score, like I want to get to 900s. How? By asking the person that has 900 on how to get that.
Yeah, because they already have it. Now you just have to see how they did it, follow that blueprint, and you're there.
Yeah. So how I got my first house, it was like a crustal mess.
Okay.
I got my first house making $42,000 a year.
Okay.
When I got my first house, I went to a lender that told me, Uzi, you have to wait one more year to make a huge impact on your application to qualify for X amount. By next year, I can qualify you for 230,000, 245,000. So I was like, cool. I went to this person, give him all kinds of paperwork. But the last meeting that I had with this guy, he told me, it's because you're not showing enough in your W-2s. And at that moment, my blood boiled and the hood came out of me. I was like, are you fucking serious? Like, how are you telling me that my W-2 needs more income if I'm on 1099? So you have no dedication to read through your papers and know your stuff.
Wow.
So
You had no idea.
therefore, I'm out. Give me all my stuff and I'm out of here. I was able to meet this guy named Rafael, which he's not my business partner. I can count on this guy of anything I want. Anything he drops it, cares to me because of the type of and same with him, because of the relationship that we have built together. He got me my first house. So on February, that's when I was dealing with this mortgage broker, right? By September of the same year, he got me my house.
Nice.
And he had to wait till the next year.
Nice.
By getting creative with how to get real estate.
Yeah.
He told me, Uzi, you are looking to pay the IRS $12,000.
Okay.
But I promise you, in 5 to 8 years from now, you're gonna get 10 times in return. Plus, you're gonna live in a house that you're gonna pay about the same amount of money that you pay on your apartment.
True.
And you ain't gonna have to complain about parking.
Yeah.
Once you put it into perspective, I was like, cool, pay them off.
Let's do it.
Oh, but you can set up on payment plans. You know what? Pay them off now. Pay them off. Then I closed on September 14. That's when my grandma passed away.
Okay.
He was through the whole process there.
Wow.
Like, Uzi, like, you're going to be okay. This is what's going to go down. You don't have to give you 5% down payment. But at that time, it was when people weren't paying for your closing costs and stuff like that.
Okay.
So I had 15,000 put aside for my closing costs, and I had another 3,000 just for like some random stuff. Next thing you know, my 18,000 goes out the window. I'm what you call now house broke. I didn't care. I worked every day. Got my second house. Got my third house. Got my fourth house. Last year we did a flip together. We got a house that was 420,000. That it was 1,800 square feet. We turned it into 3,300 square feet.
Wow.
And we sold it for $1.3 million.
Sweet baby. Nice.
So this guy is a true definition of a man, because once you say something and you get it done, that to me you are a man.
Okay.
So step by step, he's always been to where like, Uzi, this is what we need to do, and this is what we're gonna get, and it's been resolved back after back.
Nice.
But those things are also out of relationships, things that we have to invest into trusting people. Sometimes, not because we don't hear from somebody that we love, doesn't mean that that's not the right thing.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned that a little bit, that's awesome though that your partner led you through that path, and again, we have talked about this, about you don't always have to do this on your own. Some people sometimes get greedy and they think that, oh, like, I'm gonna take all the cheese, No, man, like, I would rather have a few pieces of the cheese instead of having nothing, and some people try to get greedy and they just want the whole thing, and it just doesn't work out. So that's awesome that you do have someone that can guide you through these things. That's awesome that again, aside from the barbershop gig, you have these investments that give you money or produce you money, maybe not now, but hopefully later in the future as well. So that's awesome that you branch out in those different aspects. I know that there was a time, and I don't know how much you want to talk about this, but that you also invested when you were growing that weed up in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
You and I kind of talked about it briefly during that time, because I was thinking of going in it with you, but I was like, wait, before I do so, I have to do some more research, because it seemed like it was working out, but then I do believe that things went south there, right?
They went really south.
Fuck.
But then again, it's so what you do out of the lesson.
Okay.
If you learn from your lesson, then you have a lesson. If not, you just have failures.
True.
Everything I've done, I try to get it as a lesson. One of the things that I had to struggle with is how to shift other people's perspective and apply it to my life.
Okay.
So when our business went down, I lost $70,000 of my own cash, plus $35,000 worth of equipment that somebody donated to my project.
Dang. So
when I spent all that money, everybody was like, we need more money. And I'm a hard believer that if I put my phone in my right pocket, the moment I put it in my left pocket, I'm going to lose it. So I apply that to everything else. So I had a goal when I bought my first house. I had a goal to turn around and buy my dream house, which is my Airbnb now.
Okay.
And if I would have give that person X amount of money, I would have lost my dream house.
Wow.
I would have cheated my own belief to gain something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when everybody was like, we need more money, I was like, I have no more money. Then 3 months later, on the dot, I ended up buying my third house,
Okay.
and everybody was like, "F you, you piece of
You didn't have
this."
no money, but you got
But
another
you have no
house.
money. I was like, look, I didn't have no money. That money didn't belong to nothing else other than the house that you see there.
Mm-hmm.
When they got more furious, is because not only that I told them I had no money, they saw trucks like loaded with, furniture. I
Okay.
furnished the whole house brand new.
Wow.
So I lost a lot,
Mm-hmm.
like all my life savings
Mm-hmm.
to any business that I could have done
Mm-hmm.
into that.
Mm-hmm.
But my vision was still there that I wanted to do this. Like not only buy a house, I wanted to furnish it entirely, like everything brand new. That's when things got really, really salty. But again, I did what I had to do. You know.
Wow. Okay. And again, to show to everyone again that trying different paths, and see what works, what doesn't work, and that's a gamble that you try to give it a try. Unfortunately, didn't work, but there's no there's nothing else to do but to just keep on going, and,
Yeah.
and life moves on, and you got to keep on hustling and finding a way to keep on, finding the next thing to do.
Yeah.
Quick question, I forgot to ask you, but as a barber, has there been anyone that has offered to pay you in any other way that's not money? Like now, I remember because of the weed, but
Yeah.
has anyone said, "Hey man, like let me give you an 8 ball or something, or
No.
or give me a haircut and I'll give you some weed," or
So one thing.
what's the craziest thing that has happened to you?
So I don't ever get to that.
Okay,
Like if you have no money for a haircut, then
true.
what are you doing here?
Why would you be there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now if you're struggling, like I gone through people like through the years that I know their struggles, and sometimes like, hey, this one's on me, bro. Take care of things.
Okay.
There's people that have come out to me and say like, hey, Uzi, can I borrow some money?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no.
Mm-hmm.
But they always tell me like, look, I need $2,000. I need $4,000 or whatever. I'm like, look, man, here's $200.
Mm-hmm.
Those are yours. Hope you things get better for you. You don't have to pay those back to me.
Fix your shit.
You don't have to pay those back to me. Hopefully things get better with you. And I always keep those people around.
Yeah.
Because look, you work hard for your money
Mm-hmm.
and then have to work harder to get it back.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit.
That's just a thing that, it makes no sense.
Tocayo, pay up, man. You'll still owe me my fucking money. I'll go look for you. But yeah, man. That's just a little side note.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you're right, man. We have all gone through that, and it's crazy, and it sucks that people that see us, and that's why I hate being so visual. I don't know, but I have to learn to cope with it. But I hate that people have this impression that we just shit money, or that
And it's okay.
Yeah, sure, yeah, it is.
It's okay,
but I
because-
fucking hate that these people think it's okay for fucking go and
But it's-
ask us like,
but it's all how you address it though. The more you emphasize on the problem, you're always gonna have the problem.
yeah,
Look, like I help so many people, and one of the things that me and my wife were just talking about is like I help some people, and I have helped a lot of people, including family. That she says, but I hate how they talk about you.
oh man, yeah,
And you know what? You know what my response is? I love it.
okay,
She's like, you gotta be some type of crazy, because a lot of things that I do, they're pretty crazy to her and to people around me. But I love it.
yeah,
You know why? Because gossip is the most interesting
yeah,
thing that a human being can do. Because imagine if they talk shit about you that helped them, what they can do about somebody else. Now, if they're gonna tell other people, it's cool, because that other person that was waiting for them to like get helped and then be helped out other person, now they ain't gonna ask for help.
yeah,
Why? Because that person already told that other person that I'm a piece of crap, and like word gets around, it's cool.
yeah,
My intentions were not that, but if that's how you feel about this whole situation, well, cool.
yeah. There's no such thing as bad marketing.
Yeah.
Again, we talked about your business ventures that you have gone from landscaping to cutting hair at your shop, at the mobile barber shop, the investments that you do with real estate, the investment that you did with the weed business. Can you tell me real quick about what it is that you do a little bit with the car rentals?
So Brandon, with American Motor, he just sold his company. Amazing guy. He has 175 cars, and
Nice.
this is a guy on the highest level that you can think of. That he has a lot on his plate, and he's still 100% invested on every single thing he does. I've seen this guy kick rocks out of our driveway, something that most people don't do. His level of experience with dealing with the customers and being so specific with what he does is unreal. So I do business, and most of my businesses are not the greatest, but I do them because at the end of the day, I don't want to be like, I should have, would have done that. So my advice to most of you guys is to get in whatever the fuck you want.
Simple as that. Do it.
Simple as that. Don't leave it to other people's opinion. If you are gonna fail, it's up to you to either fail or get a lesson to do things better. You have to get that skin thick enough for you to do anything.
Yeah,
Like you cannot tell somebody to do something if you ain't doing it yourself.
for sure.
I can sit here and tell you what to do it better. If not, don't impossibly don't do it.
And to wrap up again, to even add on that list, what about that e-commerce investing that you do?
So e-commerce is interesting. There's a lot of ins and outs on that.
Okay.
There's a lot of politics. And this is being transparent with everybody. E-commerce, anything that has to do online, Airbnb, car rental, whatever business you can name, don't get into it if you don't have time yourself.
True.
A lot of my business, I'm putting fires all over the place. And this is something that most people don't talk about. I work like a horse because I have to put fires on my Airbnb sometimes. Somebody broke my water feature. It cost me $7,000. It had to come out of my pocket.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm putting fires left and right. I should have been a firefighter instead of an entrepreneur. So whatever business you're gonna do it if you got the time.
Yeah.
If you got no time, don't let nobody else sell you on this scheme. Like none of that shit. Because at the end of the day, it sucks to give you hard work and money to someone that is gonna treat it like it's just another transaction.
For sure.
And I deal with a lot of that, with weed, e-commerce, and so many other adventures that I've done. Because if I don't have the time, now my goals are 2024. If I don't have time for any of my businesses, I'm just going to cut them loose.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm taking money that can go to my family and my kids and vacations and all these things, becoming a slave for something that is not productive.
Money and time. And that's a big thing here, that you guys have to realize that with running your business or multiple businesses, it drains your money, it drains your time. But there's a few of us crazy people out there that we just for some reason aspire to do this. So again, just to show all of you guys that it's not just one path. Uzi has a bunch of different branches that he reaches into. But then again, you have to be able to determine what's good, what's not. Because at the end of the day, again, our mental health is very important, and spending time with our family and our money and our future is very, very important. Uzi, it was a pleasure to have you here. I really, really appreciate you being here, taking a time out of all of these businesses that you have to be in and overlooking, and being here to present to us some information, some very useful information. So I will gladly would like to invite you again there in the future so we can have another chat. And I would like to invite everyone there at home. Tomorrow night, we do have Cumbia night at La Casa de las Flores. If you guys want to visit us and have a great time at El Patio in Dobson and Guadalupe in Mesa, Arizona, come visit us. Come visit us with some great Mexican food, some great drinks, a great time. Visit our friend Uzi here. Either go to his physical shop, get a haircut if you live somewhere in the North Phoenix area, or hit him up and he might be able to go straight to your door and visit you. Uzi, want to share with the people your social media pages or where they can contact you to?
Yeah, the Cave Hype. You can go to thecavehypeaz.com. Book an appointment with me at my physical location on Happy Valley 917. Or if you wanted me to go mobile, I go anywhere. Like if they got a road out there, I go. Uzi Cuts it, and my phone number is 602-410-5356. You can reach me at any time. If I don't answer the phone, it's probably because I'm with the customer, and their time is really precious to me. That's the only reason why I don't answer a phone call. But if you can text me, I'll shoot you up the links, or we can set something up.
Exactly. So again, guys, just to show you that everything is possible. Put your mind to it. Just do it. Coming here to this country as an illegal immigrant, right? And everything you have accomplished, man, it's awesome. All the businesses.
Citizen now.
Yeah,
I mean,
congrats
all
to
those
you.
things.
Oof, beautiful, beautiful. That's awesome, man. So congrats to you. Keep up the hard work. We'll definitely be in touch. And you guys, we'll see you guys for the next episode. Drop down in the comments if you want to see anyone specific that you guys know of or any type of specific content or material. And we'll do our best to give all that to you guys. See you guys next time. Thank you.
Take care, guys.